Erin. Thank you, Stephanie, for being here. Erin, back to you.
Thank you. Cool. I'm so excited to dive in now. I know you guys want me just to go into the content, and I'm a big flow. I flow with energy. I work with the energy of the group, and so that's why I wanted to hear where you're at so I could customize it. And I mentioned empty cup, and that can mean two different things. So I just wanted to make sure you were clear on that. Sometimes if our cup is empty, it just means that we need to like refill with self-care. That's a different kind of empty cup. This is empty cup with somebody said, I just don't know anything. I don't know what to expect. That means that there's nothing, you don't have preconceived notions. And so fresh energy can come in. And so that's what I was talking about with empty cup. That's one of the things we start talking about in Kabbalah. But I wanted to just talk to you about like all the things that you can get from doing the ascension and how we are going to work it and what you get at each step. So Kabbalah is basically, it's a system that helps you understand yourself, the God nature within yourself. So how to create like God, how to create like God creates. Is everybody an initiate here already?
There is just one non-initiate right now.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, you'll want to get initiated then. That's cool. So yeah.
Oh, sorry. Michelle's coming on.
I tell people they're God like on the subway. So like, I'm going to be a little spoiler alert. But basically you're going to learn the pattern of how to create. This is the pattern of how God creates. And if God's a trigger word, when you take empower thyself, it'll get better because you'll realize that that's you we're talking about as well. There's different layers of God, but it's a pattern of how God creates. And so what we're going to do throughout the year is we're going to start at the bottom here at Malkut, there, the bottom of the tree where we already are at the earth. And so it's a gradual process, like you're at base camp, you're preparing, and you'll look around your life and you'll start to see what's going on, what's working. You'll have a lot more awareness. The physical world will seem, the first weekend we'll go up into Malkut and we'll see the physical world around us and what's going on in our lives and how to discern, how to choose which path to go on. But also you're going to have a lot more light because you're going to be on the tree, because I'll ascend you into the first part of the tree. So you'll be able to see what's working, what's not. It's kind of like when you're at a house, when you're in a room and the light comes on, like, and you can see, oh, there's cobwebs in the corner, or there's dirt on the floor. That's the things in your life that you weren't able to see before. You weren't able to realize the things that were blocking you. And so you start to see more. But what we're going to do at the first weekend is we're going to make goals. You're going to talk to the tree and think of something that you've always wanted to achieve, but you haven't been able to. Like there's always been a block, something a little out of your comfort zone, like a bigger, kind of uncomfortable goal. And so because when you do that, it's going to the tree of life, which is this glyph here. This is a glyph, a map representing it. It will meld to your life, and holographically your life will start showing you places where there's kind of like clogged arteries, so that you can open them up and get to this up here. And so there's nothing to really be afraid of. I know fear, somebody mentioned fear, and I understand that because you're going into something different. You're going into something new, the unknown. But it's actually, without the tree helping you see what was going on, you would still have the same issues. It's just you wouldn't have as much awareness about those issues. So the tree is going to just basically put a light onto your life so that you can see, and that way you have a choice. A lot of you had said you had gone to empower thyself, and like this, that's great. You find out, okay, I have all these, I'm God, I'm responsible for my own creation, but I also have this negative ego. And in that weekend, it's not like you solve that problem, you just find out about it. Like, okay, I've got all these doubts that were created from, things that happened to me when I was a kid, or things imprinted from religion, imprinted from my family upbringing. And it's clogging, it's completely it shifts your belief system. I think, Marie, you were talking about beliefs, and that's in Hode over here in the orange, limiting beliefs. And these are things that you really want to know about. Like, yes, it's uncomfortable to see it. Okay, I have this belief about whatever. I mean, there's so many examples about the limitations that I'm perceiving, or somebody broke up with me, everybody's going to break up with me. I don't know, whatever wound you have, you start to create like that this is the way the world is, and it gets calcified onto you until you bring light in and you can see that this is actually something that isn't real. It's something that you created. So the tree is going to help you start to like cleanse that. And that's part of the negative ego. So the first part of the tree here at the bottom, when you're in Malkut at the bottom, the kingdom, you're going to start feeling the energies of Yesod, which is your subconscious, basically your negative, most of it's the negative ego that's been clogged, beliefs that you've picked up on that actually are not true. Like you just decided that they were. So it's really in your benefit to learn to have that light and have the community. You have this wonderful community. I mean, I saw 50 people at the full moon gathering, and it's a way for you to be with other people that are spinning clockwise once you all get initiated. And it's going to be, you're going to have that, but you're also going to have this powerful system structure, which actually I know a lot of people, we think a structure is limiting. It's actually going to help you create. A river needs banks to flow, you still can have that flow. I believe in flow. I'm a river goddess basically, but like you need the bank. And so people who take this, they always, oh my gosh, we always have so many audits. Like I had 20 audits in my last class. That's a good sign. Like they wanted to do this again. They were jumping on it. I had to like back them away, like wait for new people to sign up so that, hold the door back for them not to come, because people prefer to be on this because you get so much results. Like it's so much quicker than if you weren't on the tree. So everybody wants to be on it. Once you figure it out, you're like, I'm jumping on that next tree, and you understand. So anyway, back to what we're talking about is this negative ego is you learned about it and empower thyself, right? It's kind of like a daunting thing to learn, like you're, this huge thing you need to identify, and so that you can identify it so that you don't let it control your life. Well, Kabbalah is one of those things that's going to weed out these beliefs, these emotional attachments. It's going to show it to you, and then it's up to you to choose if you want to let it go or not. It's very personal. The system is going to meld with your life and holographically, magically show you what through your interactions with people. It's so efficient. It's like you could be, it's for us in the Western world that we're not on a mountaintop meditating, like we need to work, we need to be interacting with life. So Kabbalah is a way to still be in the world. If you're a mother, you've got children, you've got a job, all these things going on, the tree is going to interface with that life that you have, and it's going to show you through the reflections in a kind of a turbo button sort of way, so that you can go through it really quickly. So the first part, you're kind of feeling the light you're feeling Yesod. This is foundation. Somebody talked about foundation. This definitely helps you have a new foundation. This is about foundation, and what shakes your foundation. So you'll be looking at yourself, what am I attached to? Things like that. But this is also where the subconscious is. And the subconscious is the pattern that creates your physical world. So if the subconscious mind has a lot of garbage in it from things that you've picked up from programming from the outside world, or from things that have happened to you, then you're just going to be going through the same thing over and over again. So what this gives you a chance to do is like clean it with Windex. Like each of these, you're cleaning it as you go up. Each one has a vice and a virtue, and you're going to notice, oh, wow, I'm going to get more independence in this. There's a lot of positive things you get when you make space. You have to clear the stuff that's not working. So you identify it. Do I want to have this? I mean, somebody talked about I'm trying to look at the, Renee, you had already done it and you sacrificed, right? Was that, somebody else?
Catherine.
Yeah. You had done it and you'd sacrificed. And when we use the word sacrifice with a tree, we're sacrificing things that are no longer serve us, that you've identified. It's like a mask you no longer need. So you're gonna have so much light, you're gonna be able to sacrifice and move up. And then in here, in Netzach, we're gonna work on, you're gonna feel where hold first is your beliefs about the world. What things that you've held on to, that is it true or not? Do you want to keep that? Probably not. Most of them you're not gonna want to keep. And then over here, your emotional attachments. And so your beliefs and your emotional attachments are what can create some clogged energy in the yesod, subconscious, and then it comes down. So what you're going to do is you're just unwinding and clearing this quickly. Then after 3 months, we're going to go into Tiferet. Any questions so far? I'm like got a little bit of time with you. I'm going to go quick. Okay, cool. Keep going. Okay, so after 3 months, we're going to go up here, and this is Tiferet. So you will have felt the energies of these are called Sephirah. They're aspects of you as God. They're aspects of your God nature. There's 10 of them. And the more as you're climbing the tree, you're activating them. And they are basically places that you can filter experiences with your mind. And so when they're activated, it's like you have a filing system now, so that when information comes in, it goes into these places so that it doesn't get swept into your subconscious mind. So you're creating a system where you're not going to have a lot of junk in the future, because you're going to have the structure. So the first time when you go up, you're not going to, it's okay. There's going to be a lot of new information, and just take it as it comes. And we'll be there. Sarah will be your study group leader, supporting you every month for 3 hours. You'll really have hands-on instruction at each Sephirah. She's going to support you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and lay the structure and help you ascend up the tree. So after 3 months, we're going to go into here. And then we're going to heal. You're going to be like a bird's eye view. You're like floating above where you were before. So you can see the pattern. You're high up above like a bird, seeing your personality, your negative ego, but also, and that's when it's really easy to identify that this is actually not me. This is made up coping mechanisms that I no longer need. And I'm talking about that because that's what I think is the most important at first. But as you do this, believe me, there is a lot of light that comes in, and you replace it with good qualities. So there's always an exchange. Clear, just like mystery school, anything you've done, you get a cord cutting, you clear, and then you bring in the positive spell, you make a positive spell. So it's always clear, bring in something good, clear, bring in something good, rinse and repeat. So this is where you'll be healing, is for beauty, harmony, inner child. We're going to work on the inner child there. And then after 3 months of that, we're going to meet again. And you're going to send into Geburah and Hesed. And so far, what's different about this? You've been ascended from Malkut. You were here, the bottom. Then you were here, okay? And then now we're going to be here. What's different? It's obvious.
We're higher on the tree.
You're higher on the tree, but where are you? You're definitely higher, but.
Well, you said it was obvious, so I'm trying to point out something really obvious.
Oh, because you've already done it. You've already done it. Yeah.
I know.
Go ahead and answer. It's fine. You can do it.
What was even the question? I forget already.
It's okay. I'll just answer it for you. It's okay.
Okay.
Basically, it's I was asking what's different. What's different is you're not in the center. So this is called, there's so many concepts. I mean, what's good about Kabbalah is it's so alive and so juicy that I can't cover everything, but there's a middle pillar here, and you've been on the middle pillar. Now this is the first time you're going to be in two places, so polarities, you're going to be in Geburah and Hesed. Geburah is about severity, setting boundaries, being assertive, warrior energy, power. And a lot of people need this. They need to be able to speak up, be a queen. It's like the warrior on their chariot, defending your own kingdom. Then Hesed is mercy and abundance, love, the generous king in times of abundance, supporting their people. And so there's a juxtaposition. So usually this is a time where you're really going to be working you're really going to be seeing stuff. But that's what happens. We're climbing. If you're going to climb Mount Everest, when you get to close to the top, you're not at base camp anymore. And so it gets a little more powerful. To me, this is my favorite part on the tree, because you can really get a lot done in a short amount of time. So you're seeing your imbalances. And when you need to balance, you can always come back into Tiferet here. And so this is where on the tree, you're going to be experiencing, like, stepping into your royalty, stepping into leadership within yourself, but also noticing where am I where do I act like a doormat? You know, where am I like allowing people to not speaking up when somebody has crossed my boundaries? What are my boundaries? You know, do you kind of let it go, but it's really like passive aggressive, like you're pissed off? I'm touching my left shoulder because it's on your body too. So it's really you're really embodying this. And then you can also look at, okay, well, maybe I need to speak more up and set boundaries and be a Geburah. Or if you're too Geburah and you're slashing everybody away and cutting people away, then you need more Hesed. So it's like a really powerful place where you're going to get a lot done. And if you really do want to harness your godhood, this is why we're earning it. It's not something that is just given to you. There is part of it where you're going to be working and you're going to be challenged, and it's for brave people. You know, my last group I had 2 groups during lockdown. I call it lockdown, but COVID or whatever. I had 2 groups, and the second group was such warriors. I'm like, I've got to move the group to a different state. And I was almost like, okay, whoever doesn't come, that's fine. I mean, only the strong shall survive. Everybody came. So, I mean, it is a warrior path. It's for you to really bravely face yourself, and not many people do it. And you have the opportunity, like right at your doorstep. Like Sarah's built a beautiful community right there in Winnipeg, and you could just basically just drive down the street and come. And so, I mean, I know some of you are from further north, it sounds like too, but it's still close. I mean, I like drove down to LA from it. 6 hours for my first one. Then, okay, so here you are, but there's this area here, and it doesn't look as scary as it should, because like this is in the way, which is a mystery one that you'll have to earn that. You'll have to come to class to learn a little bit more about that. But this is the abyss. So another thing about this 3rd level is that you're standing on the edge of what your fears are, which are all, because you're a goddess and a god, it's kind of made up. Like, it's like you have projected this into your world, and your abyss is right in front of you right now. Okay. You have it there. You just don't know. You're not as aware. When you're here, you're going to be really aware. Okay. This is really where I get taken off my path. This is where I give my power away. Oh, it's so obvious to me that this is what my issues are. And that gives you so much power. Like, if you have awareness of that, you can change it. So this is a huge, beautiful gift. I just saw 45 people like 2 weeks ago come to the end, and they did their tangible, measurable result. That's the result I was talking about at the beginning when I started talking about how you're going to set a goal that's bigger than anything that you've ever. And I say write a whole list, like go crazy with it and write a whole list, and then of goals that you want to create. And people, they completely manifest it, unless it's not for their highest good, or they change so much because they didn't even know who they were at the beginning, that they're a different person at the end. And so the goal is different because they've changed so much, they don't even want that anymore. So that's kind of cool too. But I was just sitting there watching them do their presentations, and it was amazing. Like the amount of transformation that these people had, like they were very afraid of speaking when I first met them. And then they were just like light shining bright. And so at the end, you will face this part of yourself, which is a gift. It's make it an adventure. That's what I'm going to make it fun. Sarah and I are fun. You know, I will be strict, like, because there's parts that, to help you, I need to have my Geburah, right? And that's tough love. But for the most part, life is, we're going to make it a fun, joyous, funny adventure, but at the same time, it's holy and serious too. So it's going to have all that. but you're here. And then the final retreat that we are going to meet together for 3 days. Basically, you're only going to spend 7 days away from wherever you were working or your home or your family over the 9 months, 7 days. The last 3 days is at a retreat. And I mean, the other ones you can go home at night and stuff like that. But this is like a retreat. We're going to be far away so that we can do really high alchemy and magic, so that we can start to really be one with our God self. So the goal of Kabbalah is really to bridge this gap between us and our God, the higher us, like me versus we, like we as a unified, we as one, but we, and then also us as God. Like this part of the tree up here, Keter, this supernal triad above here, that is the Godhead. That's all spirit. It's you though. It's on your head. It's here. But a lot of us have a break from it because of the abyss. So the abyss is really your perceived separation between you and your God self. Perceived. It's not real. But you made a choice at one point to create that. And so we're going to undo that. And so the last weekend is where everything culminates, and we do so much. We're working with high magic, beautiful healings, toning, meditations, everything releasing like crazy. And then you're able to create a way, and that's kind of like, I'll reveal it later, across this. You'll create a way across this, and then you will reclaim your crown, and it's at the top. So, if I just gave you your crown at the first meeting, that would mean nothing, would it? And I don't have any power to give you your crown. It's not up to me, so it's up to you. And so you're gonna be really proud because you did it. And you are gonna face some blockages, like the more fear you have, in a way, it's like, okay, you gotta do it. Like if you're afraid or if you're feeling like uncomfortable, then you gotta go and do it. And so we'll support you as you go up. And but then once you go up and you cross this abyss and you're one with your God self, you're a Kabbalist, and all this is all lit up in you. And then you start living from a totally higher foundation based on knowing yourself on a deeper level as a divine being, not as somebody programmed by the world and woundings that have happened to you, traumas. You're going to start to release that, but you have to, sometimes people like their traumas, like, and they're holding like the edge, like they don't want to let go because it's what or, well, who am I without that? We're going to help you with that. The energy of the tree will help you though. Just ascending, the light is so high that it's going to really support you. So yeah, I hope you do it. And I mean, that's what I wanted I'm just flowing that right now, and I can definitely say more, but I want to see if you have any questions from what I just said, because I just was going over basically what we're going to do together and some of the benefits.
Thank you, Erin, so much. Maybe I'll spotlight myself again. So, so many people on the call I've been talking about Kabbalah with for a very long time. So they're very well versed in what, the Universal Hermetic Kabbalah is, but there's a few people who this is really new. So just to lay a foundation that we're all on the same page, that the Universal Kabbalah system is a 10-month system where we go through not just a self-development program, because that can be very mental. We're talking about something that is a complete inner alchemical transmutation, where you let the light in, kind of like if you go on a detox, right? Like you take those pills every morning and you're like, well, let's see what happens. And you're just hope for the best. And then the supplements just move things and you're pooping everywhere. And you're like, whoa, I am releasing. And so I don't know if that's the right analogy, but the Kabbalah comes in and that light hits you and it hits your stuff and it cleanses you and it illuminates the real you, because it helps you access those powers. So just for those of you that are on the call that maybe don't know what we're talking about, that we're talking about a 10-month journey. So Erin, I guess maybe could you you did such a good job of sharing the benefits. Can you maybe talk a little bit about like the physical, mental, and emotional benefits of the Kabbalah and spiritual, if you can?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that, okay, so like a clearer mind, you mean what the
You did so good. You mean, but like maybe some of the things you've seen in your own classes, testimonials, your own experiences. Because for me, the Kabbalah continues to awaken more of the things in me that I always wanted that I didn't know how to do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely it's gonna take you where you are and take you to your next level of attainment of whatever you want. Like for me, and all the people that I've been working with, a lot more abundance, changing job. Usually there's a lot of transformation, like getting a different job, more of a dream job, finding out like more soul purpose, like what you're here to do as a mission, like what your purpose is. Because once you release all that gunk as you climb the tree, you're going to be clear. And the contracts that you have with God and for the planet and for your mission are going to come online, and you're going to get a lot more passion and more energy to want to do this and to pursue something that you might not have even thought of pursuing before. So it's really it's also like doing 10 years of therapy in 1 year. We've had a lot of therapists say it's like, instead of just ruminating on things that are not working, you're actively moving through. So it's not just an intellectual study. Like I definitely think I said that, it's all an experiential, holographic, experiential. So there are intellectual pieces where you can read, so you understand at least where you are on the tree. Like, okay, I'm in Hod. This is about my mind, like how clear, my clarity of my thought. Okay, I need to know. If you didn't know and you didn't do the study groups, you would have the same changes, but you wouldn't be as aware of them. And so you're gonna have, like, as you climb, you're gonna have structure. So it's not really like reading a book or anything like that. I mean, I personally, when I did it, I didn't know what I was getting into, but I knew I was becoming a ritual master, which is the warrior path of the mystery school. And I asked Founder Goodney, how can I release my negative ego? Because the job of the ritual master is to release your negative ego. So I said, how can I do that? And he said, by doing Kabbalah and King Solomon healing modality. I didn't know anything about it. And I went, and I was I'll tell you my experience the first time. The first time is really powerful. I went in, and I went down to LA. It was Davina Teresa, or Teresa Bullard, Dr. Teresa Bullard. And this is 2006. And I went down. I was so nervous. Why? I was just taking a class. Oh, terrified. Drove down, and it was LA. Like everybody was like a model. And, I don't know. I just had a lot of insecurities back then. And so I went in thinking, I went in with my belief at that point was I was still stuck in junior high. So I put my beliefs here because it's how you look through the world because you're the God of your own world. Your belief system and emotional attachment is actually the template that you're choosing to look through. That's why I want people to do Kabbalah so much, is because you get to clear all that off. So I thought I was still in 7th grade and I didn't realize it. So I've been living, I think I was like 22 at the time, but I thought, okay, no one's going to want to eat lunch with me. Like I was projecting on like this whole nightmare of like a 6th grader or 7th grader, and everybody had braces. And by the time of lunch or like the end of the day, I had realized it. Oh, oh no, I was like 30. I think I was 30 at the time. I'm a 30-year-old woman. I am, so that's how much I got cleared even just from the first day, is like realizing, oh, I've been projecting like some sort of old template onto the world. And this is not where I'm at right now. It's not who I am. So at the beginning, I was very like shy. I didn't really want to, I didn't want to be a leader, anything like that. I didn't really want to be around people that much because I didn't really like myself. I was very insecure. And then by the end, I was fine with other people, it was easy for me to room with other people, or, so it was a huge transformation for me. Yeah. And yeah, go ahead.
No, thank you so much. I actually, Catherine was hoping to share her experience. Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, of course. I'm here.
Okay, and then we'll go to more questions. Okay, Catherine, come on up.
Yeah. Okay. This is exactly what I wanted to just reconnect to the tree again and just remember, I guess, like what my experience was. And hopefully I can be of service by just sharing a little bit. Cause I when I went into the first study group, I like being in Malkuth, as Erin already said, it's like really about understanding, like, what do I want to manifest? What do I want my goal to be? And I was totally someone that's like, I have all these life dreams. Like I'm going to be like the CEO of some company. Like I'm going to that was just this total personality of who I thought I was going to be. And like that first study group, I broke down, like I was crying. I had no idea what I wanted. Like, I was just like, I don't even want, like, I couldn't even fill out the exercise because I was just like, every single dream that I've dreamed of. And I think I was being a little over dramatic, but like, I was like, everything has come from this personality. Like, I don't even know if this is who I am, if this is even what I want. And so I think like where I came out of it was a lot more softened, a lot more like giving myself grace and compassion, and just realizing so much more of like my multidimensionality of like who I can be and who I can step out into. And I think like, especially going into like Tifereth, which is, I think for me was so powerful because I got to see like that, Christ, connection, right in the middle. And it was just so powerful because it's like I could see myself, like two sides of myself, like see this lower self and then see where I could go. And like after I passed that stage, I was able to kind of start dreaming in a new way. And it just like, and now I'm at a point where I feel like I'm really embracing some of those dreams and taking some of those risks and sacrificing, but it's like, oh no, like all these things are coming up again, right? And from a different foundation. So that's was just really powerful for me because it's like I thought I knew exactly what I wanted, and like the tree just really shook me up a bit to be like, actually there's so much more that you can become if you just kind of let go of what you think to be true about the world and how you operate in it. So that was just really great. And to me, what got me through it was like the community, like Sarah study groups, like those were just so essential because they like kind of keep you feeling safe in this process that's like really alchemical and like really deep, but it's like you, and like how Erin said, by the end you're like, I fucking earned this, like earned my language, but you're like, hell yes, I am crossing that abyss. I am getting there. Like I'm going to totally like embrace myself as God. And then you're like, okay, I want to do that again because like you're just at like a new place. So that's my experience to share.
Thank you so much for sharing. That was beautiful. That's very, results may vary, but that's typical results. Yes. And if you're scared, then definitely do it. Or if you're resistant, definitely do it. It's like what she just describing is almost like when you're a kid and you're standing on a high dive. I don't know, you're from Canada, so I don't know if you guys had summer, like if it's warm or not, but like I'm California, we are always like swimming. And so you're like, it's terrified. You jump into the deep end and then it's scary, but then you're like, okay, I want to go back up. Right? Have you ever done that? Like where you're terrified, your knees are shaking, and then it's so fun that of course you're going to do it again. Like, even though you're going to face yourself, because what else is there to do? Do you want to we don't want to be mediocre, really, do we? This is how we can get out of that. We want to we know we're God because we've gotten initiated or we're going to, or you have all these powers, and there's definitely limitations there's limitations you haven't been able to burst through yet. And this will absolutely help you. And I'd be more scared not to do, like in a way, here it is. And it's like, you're going to have so much, it's going to be a fateful decision for your life. Basically, when you decide to do it, it's like, as soon as you put your deposit in, it almost sounds like Catherine's put her deposit in already. But like, if you put your have you? if you put your deposit in, it's like, the magic starts that moment, because you're committing to this. You're putting skin in the game. You're serious about it. Then the tree, it's your friend, is going to take you at your word and going to start working with you. And, there's a lot of things that you're going to be doing. You're going to be asking yourself very holy questions, 5 questions regularly. Who am I? This is what we're going to find out together. What am I? Where do I come from? Where am I going? And what is my purpose? And that's going to come from you. And you're going to learn to get your answers from yourself too. So this is a system that's going to help you go within. And somebody was talking about balancing themselves, wanting to balance. And this is about that. This is about each part of the tree has a balance. So we've got intellect and emotion. We've got power and love. And then we have, I haven't even talked about it, divine feminine, or feminine archetypal, primordial feminine, and then primordial masculine. And this is how we create polarity. And then Keter, the crown. And then we've got the middle pillar. And the middle pillar is actually, it's like akin to Zen, like being a Zen centered. So if you've got these balanced and you're going to balance them, you're going to find out which one's a little bit more pronounced, and then lift the other one up. If this is balanced, then you automatically are on the middle pillar. The middle pillar is your connection to the now. It's connection to peace within. It's connection to between spirit and physical. You're building your soul body up during this. Soul is very important. Soul body is what's connecting spirit to your physical. So you can get information that's going to, when you want to create something, you're going to be able to create in alignment with the good of all. So you can still get what you want, but you're going to be able to learn a way. It's a 4 worlds meditation, and a 4 worlds is a way of creating. I'm going to hand down a way to create like God creates. And when you go up and you take an idea up that you want to create and clean it off so that it goes with the will of God, good of all, it's going to come down a lot quicker. And so you're going to learn how to manifest in a way that benefits not only you, but everybody around you at the same time. And so when you do that, you're going to get it, because all the forces of creation want you to have it, because it's helping everybody else at the same time. So that's a really big one. Aligning with that is one thing that's going to happen too. So there's a peacefulness, there's a Zen, there's a centeredness that will come from traversing the tree up and doing this work.
Can I ask, there's one question?
Yeah.
So there is, sometimes when we think about the Kabbalah, we think about a religion, with
Yes.
Judaism, and, although, the way that our lineage talks about it, it encompasses all different types of paths, shamanism, Buddhism. Can you speak to how the Tree of Life relates to in that way?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question, because sometimes people have, like, when I usually do intro talks, people think, oh, isn't it like just for Jewish people, or isn't it what the red string around my wrist, like Madonna's wearing, back in the day? I don't know. I guess it was 10 years ago, but it's not, it's actually, yeah, you're right. It's a universal system. The way King Solomon, what he did was he got all the priests and priestesses together on the planet. Some of you have heard this, and they found healings and teachings that is universal for everybody, regardless of your race, religion, or belief system. So it's universal. So you don't have to be of a certain descent, you don't have to have a certain background. It's, you have the DNA of the creator. And so if you have that, then this is for you. It's for all people, and there's no dogma attached to it. So if you look at the tree and you made it 3-dimensional and you twisted it, it's actually the DNA. So basically you're climbing your own DNA. And as you climb your own DNA, you're also helping your ancestors out. A lot of people have ancestral patterns that are affecting them currently. And so you're going to start clearing that as well as you do this. You're going to be really, the spokesperson almost like for your family, and, all those things that the patterns that you see passed down, and then you're probably, if you're on this call, you're probably the one who's sort of stepping up to stop whatever patterns you've noticed in your family. And so you don't pass it on. And so that's part of this too. I mean, the benefits are like so much abundance. And that, you know, that's just the cherry on top, because the spiritual work that you get done, the inner work is amazing. I mean, the people that I just took through the tree, like they were just shaking, like didn't want to be seen. I felt like they had invisibility cloaks on them when I first met them, which is fine. I'm totally accept everybody as they are. I mean, I just told you, I thought I was in 7th grade when I took the tree. So it's not like I have empathy for wherever you might be, right? But they were like, I couldn't even see them. They were like trying to hide, like they put like energy around them to cloak themselves. And at the end, they were like, this is who I am. This is what I've manifested. This is the most amazing thing. Like, this is what I've always wanted. Like this process is what I've always wanted. And they were speaking and not hiding. So yeah, but it's like Catherine is like, you want to do it again and again and again, because it's, you'll get so much out of it. But you start the first, I mean, I know a lot of you need to do it the first time. So definitely take advantage of it. Yeah.
I was just gonna say one comment. Like I can't go through like a week or a day without being like, oh, this relates to the Kabbalah. Like I can't like see how things aren't related anymore. Like because it is that glyph that just kind of relates to so many parts of your life. So yeah.
It's a new language. You're learning symbolism as you go too. Like the numbers mean something. Don't you guys like to look at signs? Most of us do. Like you see like a numbers, or you see like a hawk or something, you know, you see it, oh, what does that mean? It like all fits in. There's like animals, there's trees, there's scents, there's musical notes. So you'll be driving around and you might see 333, and I'll be like, okay, Bina's 3. It's the mother energy. Okay, what is that about? Understanding 333, 3 plus 3 plus 3, that's 9. So that's just so it's a mix between. So you'll learn a new language so that everything's more magical around you, and it's talking to you. It's talking to you through this language. And then you'll start to talk with each other like that, and it'll be fun. It's fun. So. Cool. Any more questions or yeah.
We're at 1 hour, so I don't want to take up too much of it. That went by so fast.
I have a lot to say.
No, you're so good, you know, and I'm so excited to have your energy in Winnipeg, and you're going to teach other classes while you're in town. And I know that you're going to have time for specialty healings that I don't do, that you can do.
Yes.
So yeah, so I hope that if you haven't put your deposit in, that you please do if you're thinking about it, you know, because once you do, it anchors that energy in, and the tree starts working with you already.
Yeah, and we start weaving that magic and build, you know, as each of you does it, it creates a magnet for other people to feel it, and it grows, and it's light work, not only for your personal life, but you're actually doing a lot of service work by climbing the tree. It's really helps the planet, and you represent other people that have the same issues that you do, and we need you to be your true self. We want you. I want to see you, the real you. And what gifts do you have? Like, if you don't do your gift, how will the whole suffer? You're important. Worthiness can be something that comes up with people. So look at that as I talk about that. But I was really had a lot of issues. And thank God I got over them, because now I'm helping people. You could be like that too. You know, there could be something. I was scared. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to stand in the light. I was scared. I had a lot of things I didn't want to see. But I did it. And thank God, you know, so, and Sarah too, you know, she's also been doing this. And so you also have something that is hidden within you that we all actually need. The world needs it. And it's a disservice not to share it. And this is a way that you're going to be able to uncover that. And you will feel joy when you find that. You will, I promise. Yeah. And if the world is, you know, I've never really liked the world. I was very upset about how the world was, how animals were treated, how people treated each other. I really did wanted to get out. I did drugs when I was younger, try to dissociate. And this doing service or, being on a path like this really makes it easy to be here. I'm embodied. I'm in my body now. And it's because I found a way to find joy. And so I want that for you too. So I want to get to know you more personally, and I hope that you sign up. Yeah. I hope to see you. Thank you for hosting me, Sarah. And I'm doing dragon and elven and fairy magic. I mean, we're going to do tons of magics, maybe Egyptian ceremonies, It'll be fun. It's fun.
Well, you're fun.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap it up. If you have any questions, please email me. Follow Erin on socials. She's a great person to talk to. She's obviously awesome. She's going to have great things to share and post. So yes, Erin, class starts January 8th and 9th.
Start the new year off right.
Yes. So if you have any questions, please message me. Like Erin said, the more people that sign up, and it just builds and builds and builds, and the energy is palpable in Winnipeg. Like there's always the moon always looks just like incredible on those nights. And like Erin said, as we heal ourselves, especially as initiates, we do create space for so many people to have the empowerment they need to heal and change.
Yeah. You're not gonna regret it.
No.
I've never had anybody be like, oh, I wish I didn't. They're just so glad they did it, even though there's challenges, and they're just so glad. And you're gonna be so glad you signed up. I mean, somebody had like alcohol problems and almost didn't do it, almost stopped before she went to Giver and Hesed, and she let it go. She's in AA now. And she looks different. Like I've never seen her before. Like her face is like glowing. So of course she didn't want to face that, but she did, and she crossed the abyss. So like there's endless testimonials. Like, I don't know, endless. Everybody's stoked on it. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Hopefully I'll see you soon in person, physical.
Cool. Thank you, Erin. Thank you for making this time in California. I know how busy you are. In the last year, you've flown like 50 flights. You're moving, shaking.
No fear. They told me I couldn't do something. I'm traveling extra. The lockdown made me more. I could not be a caged animal. I went on 50 flights, and all my weekends are booked until like April 10th or something like that. So hopefully the one I have, I'm going to come and see you guys, and yeah, fearless. I'm not afraid. I'm coming in. Nothing's stopping.
Yeah. So we have a good amount of deposits. We need a few more to get the class confirmed. So do those calling upons, tell your friends, let's do this.
It's an opportunity. Seriously. You're so lucky. In my day, I had drugs.
Thank you, everybody. It was amazing.
Bye.
Bye.